Hello, welcome to my channel, Go So Beautiful. My name's Becky and this is Friday Sews. I like to talk about my experiences with sewing and share a little bit of coffee and chat. So if you're new to my channel, thanks for checking this out and I hope you'll enjoy this video. So last week I shared my almost disaster when my sewing room got painted the wrong color and had to repaint the room myself. And I'm thrilled with the color and have gotten over it. It was definitely worth the effort. And so this week I've been putting things back in my sewing room and getting it organized so that I can make a video about my new sewing room. My husband graciously put up some shelves for me as well as some pegboards to help me get things organized within easy reach. So I'm just really happy with this. I was anxious to get back to my sewing machine, so I did start sewing on a dress, new look, 6692 and 6692. I had said I wanted to make a sundress and I chose view B, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to put sleeves on or not. I thought about it and decided ultimately to forego the sleeves, and so I started working on this and made the bodice. That was the first part of the making the dress. And I wouldn't say this was complicated, but it's not really for a beginner. And I tried it on and noticed the neckline gaped, which has been a problem in the garments I've been making lately. So I was thankful that I hadn't sewed it all up together to the skirt. So I was able to open it up. It is lined, and I took apart these two seams at the corners because it gaped right here in the middle. These two seams on the sides, this is the center of the bodice and this is the side. It's got princess seams, and I simply took up a larger seam allowance on the center portion, not the side, just the center, and eased it down to where the curve is in the princess seam, and that took care of that gap. So I tried it on again. It fits really well, and it's got these ties in the back to help keep the shoulders up, otherwise they would slip off my shoulder. And it's also got this elasticated back panel. Now I had talked about this last week and thought about shirring it, but I decided to follow the pattern directions, which said to make casings. You just stitch 11 rows of stitching across the panel, about a ½ inch apart, and then you insert 1/4 inch elastic. That was a little bit tedious, but I was pretty happy with the result. And it did say to use 12 rows, but the bottom is pretty close to the edge of the seam, the fabric, so I didn't want to risk not having enough fabric to stitch the bodice to the skirt, so I just left it that way. So this was, like I said, quite involved, and I thought maybe I'll just make something quick and easy. And I did cut out a dress, which I'll show you in a minute, but I decided I better go ahead and keep working on this dress so that it wouldn't sit around waiting to be made. So I started working on the skirt yesterday and was trying to finish the seams with my serger. And this is a serger I had gotten used. It's not super fancy, but it had been working fine. And for some reason yesterday, the tension went way out of whack and I could not get it to stitch correctly. So after working on it for too long, I put it aside and got out my old serger, which is probably 30 years old. And there's really nothing wrong with it. It just seemed like it was kind of sensitive and didn't keep its tension very well. But long story short, it worked fine. I was able to serge all of the, overlock all of the seam edges and stitch the skirt portion and the pockets together. It's got pockets. And then I came to the point where you're supposed to attach the skirt to the bodice, and then you attach the ruffle to the skirt. And that involved a lot of gathering. It was late in the evening, I was tired, and I just said, I cannot do it. So I'll be sewing on that later this weekend. And it also made me think, I don't think I want any more dresses with ruffles, at least not today. But then I forgot that I had ordered some patterns. I have a small pattern and fabric haul to show you. And the reason I got these patterns is because of this dress, which I'm wearing, and I'll show you a picture. This is a ready-to-wear dress from Walmart. Wasn't very expensive. It's just simple cotton knit, and it's gathered under the bust, as you can see, and it has 3 tiers, 3 ruffled tiers. So I am going to be doing some ruffling, but hopefully it won't be too difficult. I know there are some techniques you can use to make the ruffling easier. But I liked this dress and decided I wanted to make some more. So the first pattern I got that was similar to this was from Ellie and Mac. This is called the Be Graceful dress. Here's a picture. And this was on sale this week during their Wacky Wednesday. Every Wednesday they have Wacky Wednesday where they sell some of their patterns for $1. And I thought, you know, for $1, this will make a really cute dress. I think I have another picture. Yeah. So this one you can make maxi length, short, midi length, and it really only has gathering under the bust. It's an empire waist with elastic, and then you can make long sleeves or short sleeves, and I think you can make it sleeveless too. It's got grown on sleeves, so I thought, well, that would be easy breezy, nice t-shirt dress to make. Then in addition to that, on Wacky Wednesday they had this South Shore romper pattern, which I have talked before about how I'm not sure how I feel about rompers and jumpsuits, but this one just caught my eye. It has a wrapped faux wrap bodice, and then you can make it with shorts, capri length, pants length, sleeveless, long sleeved, short sleeved, bell sleeved. And I thought that's a lot of versatility, and I wanted to give it a try. Here's some other pictures. And it was only $1. So I got that one. In addition to the Ellie and Mac patterns, I got an email from Style Arc. If you sign up to receive their newsletter, once a month they have a deal where you get a free pattern with the purchase of a regular price pattern. And they usually feature 2 patterns each month. So one of the patterns they featured this month was this loungewear camisole nightie, and it also has an eye mask. And I don't wear camisoles that often, but I thought this would be a good pattern to have just, you know, as a basic. And it looks fairly easy. It's got darts, and I believe it has, yeah, it's got a V-neck in the front and the back. So I don't know when I'll get this made, but I think that would, I am going to try and make that. The other pattern I got that I paid regular price for from Style Arc is called the Mildred jumpsuit. And again, this one is just a basic jumpsuit that has no waistline, and I believe the straps are sewn on, but I will probably make mine with buttons and buttonholes, and I may put a zipper on the side just to make it easier to get on and off. I just liked it because it looks comfortable, something you can just put on with or without a t-shirt. And this one looks like it's a cropped length, so I thought that might be a good transition piece going from summer to fall. And then, as I mentioned, I liked this dress from Walmart and wanted to make a dress with ruffles, even though I'm not fond of all that gathering. So this week, Ellie and Mac also had a pattern bundle deal, and they featured this staycation tiered peplum and dress pattern. And again, this one is a lot more similar to this Walmart pattern or Walmart dress that I'm wearing. It does have set-in sleeves, but we can make it as a top with just a peplum or a dress. You can also make it maxi length. I will not be making a maxi dress because, at least at this point, because I don't want to deal with all those ruffles. But I'll probably use this pattern to copy this dress. So that was my little pattern haul. I do want to mention I had all of these patterns printed at PDF Plotting, and they really went above and beyond in terms of service. I had uploaded my files to their website, and one of them was too large, and they sent me a note saying, "You have uploaded a file that was too large for the paper you chose." And it was just kind of like information. So I emailed back and said, "Well, am I going to be able to use this pattern? Can you please print it on the proper size paper and I will pay the difference?" And they emailed back and said, "We've taken care of it, and you don't have to pay any extra money." I just thought that was really nice of them to print it correctly for me and then not charge me extra for it. Okay, on to my pattern haul. This week I took my new used Viking Sapphire sewing machine to be serviced to Fabric World in Stone Mountain, which I call the Buried Treasure Store. There is a sewing machine mechanic that comes there once a week and will take your sewing machine and service it and then bring it back the next week. So I took mine there just to be cleaned and make sure it was working properly. And while I was waiting, I noticed they had a sale. They frequently will sell off their remnants and sometimes even the whole bolts of fabric super cheap. And this one was all the remnants, no matter what size, no measuring, were $2 each. And if you buy 5, you get 1 free. Now the quilting cottons were still $2.99 a yard and had to be measured. But their fashion fabrics, all of their knits, wovens, even some drapery panels and things like that were $2 a piece. And I thought, I really don't need any fabric, but they're trying to clear out their inventory, so I should help them with that. And I had thought this week about, I wanted to make some black joggers, but I did find this black knit fabric. It's just a cotton spandex. It's not too heavyweight, not too lightweight, so I think this will make a good pair of joggers or leggings. And it's a huge piece. So this was only $2. The next piece I got was this pretty tie-dye. It feels sort of like double brushed poly, but it might be some kind of athletic knit. And I showed in one of my other videos leggings pattern that I bought in order to make some leggings for me to work out in. And I thought, well, this might work really well. If nothing else, it'll be a wearable toile. So I picked this piece up, and again, it's a good piece, good size, probably 1.5 yards or more. So then I was thinking, well, what else do I really need? And again, I'm always looking for solids and things like that to make bottoms with, either pants or shorts. And I found this piece of blue, navy blue linen, and I thought this will make a great pair of pants. So in this in the time when it's transitioning between summer and fall, and it's not too cool enough for jeans, but it's not really warm, you don't want to wear shorts, I thought this would make a good pair of pants to wear during that transition time. And I may use the Pietra pants from Closet Core Patterns. I really like that pattern, but I'm still trying to figure out how to make it fit correctly. I've almost got it. Then I grabbed this piece. This is a double gauze, and it's just kind of a pretty rose color. It's got a little bit of a checkerboard texture to it, and it's a big piece, so I don't think I will make a whole dress out of it unless I find a really neat pattern. I'm not sure how it would hang as a dress, but certainly it would do well as a top. So I'll definitely make a top. If I can find a dress pattern, or if you all know of a dress pattern that you think would look good in double gauze, leave me a comment. I'll check it out. All right, so I was up to 4 pieces of fabric, and I thought, well, I might as well go for the 5 so I can get one free. And I found this pretty print. This is got roses, red and pink roses with ivory color on a white background. And I'm not sure if this is a rayon challis. If it is, it's really lightweight. But I thought this would make a pretty blouse or skirt, maybe, although it's really lightweight. It would have to be lined. But there's a fair amount here that I could definitely make a blouse out of. I don't see any printing on the selvage. Sometimes that'll tell you what the design is, what the designer is, and what the fabric content is, but this one doesn't have it. So I'm looking forward to making that. I think it will go with lots of different things in my wardrobe. So I'm up to 5 pieces, and now I'm looking for my 5th and final piece, my free piece. And I really didn't have anything in mind, but I signed up for to receive emails from Bodice, which is an online retail store that features just really some simple, basic clothing, as well as some sort of boho clothing, and I really like the things they feature on there. And this week's email was featuring striped tops and all different kinds of short sleeves, long sleeves, boat necks, and I said, well, those look pretty cool. And I happened to find this piece, which made me think of that. It's a blue and ivory stripe. It's about 1.25 inches wide. And on the, I think this is a double brush poly. On the edge here, it says it's 95% cotton and 5% spandex. and it is an art gallery fabric. Got this piece for $2. At first I thought the stripes were going the wrong way, but then I realized if I make a shirt, the stripes will be going side to side. So I'm going to make something really cute with that. Now, earlier in the video I had said I thought about abandoning the pink sundress to make something quick and easy. And I did go ahead and cut something out. Only I thought I wanted to make something like the laundry day tee from Love Notions. I wanted to make a dress version, but I pulled the pattern out and I have cut off the large and extra large size. I'm too lazy to trace the pattern off and thereby preserving all the sizes. But I had used the pattern that was printed and cut it off to medium, and I really think I need a large. So I looked in my stash, my pattern stash, for something else, and I couldn't really find a dress, but I did find this Kim swing top from Style Art Patterns, and I got this a couple years ago and never made it. It's kind of a tunic length. It's got an asymmetrical hem, so it'd be a really cute top. But I really wanted a dress, so I just decided to use this and lengthen it into a dress version. And I didn't really want a dress with the asymmetrical hem, so I just made a regular curved hem. But I decided to make it with this cheetah print fabric from Girl Charlie. It's kind of a purplish blue with the black and then pink centers, and I thought that'll make a really cute little dress just to kind of run around in. Sometimes I prefer to wear dresses instead of pants or shorts because they're more comfortable. So that's everything that I've been doing in my sewing room, and as I said, I'm still got a little bit of decorating to do before I can do the final reveal. But I've also want to keep doing some sewing. So I hope you all are sewing and making things you like and fixing things you don't like. So thanks for tuning in. I hope you'll give me a thumbs up and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can see when I upload new videos. Again, I really appreciate you watching, and I hope you all have a good weekend. Go sew beautiful. Bye-bye.